These were the final moments of Sir Alex Ferguson's managerial career. But before that, let's rewind to 1999, where Manchester United had just completed a historic treble by beating Bayern Munich at Camp Nou in Barcelona, thanks to late goals from Teddy Sheringham and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is the story of the last 14 years of Fergie's Manchester United career. After their historic treble, Sir Alex aimed to maintain Manchester United's dominance in the 1999-2000 season. Financial stability allowed squad reinforcements, including Quinton Fortune. United dominated the Premier League, finishing 18 points ahead of Arsenal with 91 points. They won the Intercontinental Cup at the cost of withdrawing from the FA Cup to participate. However, they exited the League Cup in the third round and the Champions League in the quarterfinals. Despite these setbacks, their domestic supremacy remained intact. In 2000-2001, Fergie bolstered the squad by signing Fabian Barthez and attempted to sign Ruud van Nistelrooy, which ultimately fell through. The deal was almost complete, but Ruud failed his medical, which forced the club to pull the plug on his transfer. However, Fergie promised Van Nistelrooy that he will sign him the following summer. United secured a third consecutive title, finishing 10 points ahead of Arsenal. However, they fell short in Europe, losing to Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinals. As for domestic cups, their early exits allowed them to focus on the league. While the season was successful, European disappointment lingered. The 2001-2002 season was turbulent. Ferguson's initial retirement announcement caused distractions before he reversed his decision. Financial strength did continue, with Malcolm Glazer beginning to acquire shares. Key signings included Van Nistelrooy, who became the league's second top scorer behind Thierry Henry, and Juan Sebastian Veron, who struggled. Laurent Blanc was signed to replace Jaap Stam, who was sold to Lazio for £16.5 million, following a controversy after the release of his autobiography. Some of the content angered Fergie, which resulted in a controversial sale. While Blanc added experience, his lack of pace was a weakness. Defensive struggles and inconsistency saw United finish third, with Arsenal clinching the title at Old Trafford. They also fell short in the Champions League semi-finals against Bayern Leverkusen. Fan disappointment grew, especially regarding Stam's sale, though Van Nistelrooy's brilliance did offer some hope. Determined to reclaim the title in 2002-2003, Ferguson strengthened the defense with Rio Ferdinand for a record $29.1 million, but were soon to lose David Beckham. The manager was tired of Beckham's commercial presence and the limelight around him. The final straw in their relationship was when the wide midfielder and Fergie had an argument after United's FA Cup exit against Arsenal. Sir Alex had gotten furious. He kicked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's boot, which hit Beckham's eye. The Englishman featured for United multiple times again during the season, but was sold to Real Madrid for $25 million. Ultimately, United trailed Arsenal by 8 points in March, but mounted a remarkable comeback to secure the title, fueled by Van Nistelrooy's 25 goals. However, defensive lapses led to a Champions League quarterfinal exit to Real Madrid. Domestic cup runs ended in disappointment as they were eliminated in the fifth round of the FA Cup and finished as the runners-up for the League Cup. But the dramatic league triumph restored United's domestic dominance. The 2003-2004 season was marked by controversy and transition. After Beckham's feud with Sir Alex, a replacement was needed fast, and Sir Alex found one. His replacement turned out to be United's future Ballon d'Or winner, Cristiano Ronaldo. But there was still problems as defensive instability worsened with Rio Ferdinand's 8-month ban for missing a drug test. United finished third, behind Arsenal's unbeaten Invincibles. Despite league struggles, they won the FA Cup against Millwall, maintaining Ferguson's trophy streak. However, a Champions League exit to Porto and a League Cup exit left mixed reactions. In 2004-2005, Ferguson aimed to challenge Arsenal and Chelsea. Wayne Rooney's $27 million arrival from Everton proved to be a major boost. He scored 11 league goals and won the PFA Young Player of the Year award. Off the field, tensions escalated with Malcolm Glazer's increasing stake, sparking fan protests. United finished third, far behind Chelsea, and were eliminated from the Champions League by AC Milan. The FA Cup final loss to Arsenal on penalties, despite dominance, capped a disappointing season. While criticism arose over tactics and squad depth, the rise of Rooney and Ronaldo laid the groundwork for future success. After a tough 2004-05 season, Sir Alex Ferguson aimed to restore Manchester United's title ambitions in 2005 and 6. With Chelsea dominating under Jose Mourinho, Ferguson focused on youth, relying on Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo while keeping veterans like Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes. However, the season was overshadowed by Malcolm Glazer's controversial takeover, plunging the club into debt and sparking fan protests, including the formation of the FC United of Manchester. Ferguson, despite all this, strengthened the squad by signing Edwin van der Sar, as well as Park Ji-sung. But United ended up losing their leader. Roy Keane was removed from the club following an interview with MUTV where he criticized the team openly. Fergie was furious when he found out. He immediately stopped the interview from going on air and decided to get rid of the club captain. Hence, Gary Neville was given responsibility of leading the team. United finished second behind Chelsea but won the League Cup, defeating Wigan Athletic 4-0. However, they suffered an embarrassing Champions League group stage exit and an FA Cup elimination to Liverpool, exposing their need for reinforcements. In 2006 and 7, Ferguson rebuilt with Michael Carrick's arrival, and soon surprised everyone by booting Ruud van Nistelrooy out of the club due to his relationship with young players like Cristiano Ronaldo, selling him for £10.5 million to Real Madrid, as he was affecting the team's harmony, and was then replaced with Henrik Larsson's short-term loan. United's attacking style, led by Ronaldo and Rooney, secured the Premier League title, ending Chelsea's dominance. However, they fell short in Europe, losing to AC Milan in the Champions League semi-finals, and domestically they lost the FA Cup final to Chelsea. Determined to dominate in 2007 and 8, Ferguson signed Carlos Tevez, Anderson, Nani, and Owen Hargreaves, forming a formidable squad. Despite an initially slow start, United's attack flourished, with Ronaldo scoring 42 goals in all competitions. United edged Chelsea to the Premier League title and defeated them in the Champions League final, with Edwin van der Sar's penalties securing glory. Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or, but domestic cup disappointments persisted. Then, in 2008 and 9, Ferguson sought to maintain dominance despite growing fan protests over the Glazers' debt. Dimitar Berbatov arrived for £30.75 million, strengthening the attack. United equaled Liverpool's record with an 18th league title and won the FIFA Club World Cup as well as the League Cup. However, their Champions League defense ended in defeat to Barcelona in the final. Ronaldo, who had won a Ballon d'Or, left for Real Madrid, signaling the end of an era. The 2009-10 season was defined by rebuilding after Ronaldo's departure and escalating fan protests. Antonio Valencia replaced Ronaldo, while Michael Owen joined on a free transfer. However, during this transfer window, the squad was forced to bid farewell to Carlos Tevez, as there was a huge amount of tension building between him and Ferguson. Tevez ended up signing for United's noisy neighbors, Manchester City. Due to this loss, United had to rely heavily on Wayne Rooney to lead the attack. United narrowly lost the league to Chelsea by just 1 point, but won the League Cup and suffered humiliations in the FA Cup, losing to Leeds and Champions League, failing to Bayern Munich. Rooney's 34-goal season was a highlight, but the green and gold protests reflected deepening unrest over United's financial future under the Glazers. Despite the many challenges, this period cemented Ferguson's tactical brilliance, transitioning United back to dominance while overcoming internal conflicts and ownership turmoil. Sir Alex Ferguson entered the 2010-11 season determined to reclaim the Premier League title and pursue European glory. Focused on surpassing Liverpool's 18 league titles, he balanced young talents like Javier Hernandez and Chris Smalling with experienced veterans. Despite ongoing fan protests over the Glazer ownership still continuing, United remained financially stable through global sponsorships, with Ferguson publicly backing the owners. United's squad was strengthened with Hernandez, Smalling, and Bebe, though the latter made little impact. However, in October 2010, Rooney questioned the club's ambition and squad quality. He expressed his desire to leave the club for Chelsea or Manchester City. This strained his relationship severely with Ferguson. After public tension and speculation, he ultimately reversed his stance and signed a lucrative 5-year contract. This sparked controversy over his motives, with some accusing him of just seeking a better deal. United faced stiff competition from Chelsea, Arsenal, and City, but maintained consistency, remaining unbeaten at Old Trafford. A decisive 2-1 win over Chelsea in May secured their 19th league title. However, in Europe, they were outclassed by Barcelona in a 3-1 Champions League final loss. Edwin van der Sar retired after the season, marking the end of an era for United's goalkeeping. Then, the 2011-12 season saw Ferguson determined to defend the title and counter City's financial power. Key signings included David De Gea, Phil Jones, and Ashley Young, infusing youth into the squad. The season was fiercely contested, with United suffering a humiliating 6-1 defeat to City. Despite leading the title race, United costly dropped points, including a 4-4 draw with Everton and another loss to City, which proved to be decisive. On the final day, United won at Sunderland, seemingly clinching the title, but Sergio Aguero's dramatic goal secured City's 3-2 win over QPR, handing them the title on goal difference. United also suffered early exits in Europe, finishing third in their Champions League group and failing to Atletico Bilbao in the Europa League round of 16. FA Cup and League Cup exits added to that disappointment, making the season one of emotional highs and devastating lows for United fans. Determined to reclaim the title in 2012 and 13, Ferguson made a marquee signing, Robin van Persie from Arsenal for £24 million. His goals, including a last-minute winner against City, proved to be vital. United dominated the league, securing their 20th title with 4 games to spare, finishing 11 points ahead of City. However, European disappointment struck again as a controversial red card for Nutty led to Champions League exit against Real Madrid. Robin van Persie finished as the league's top scorer with 26 goals, earning PFA honors. However, the season became an even more historic one when Ferguson announced his retirement after 26 years, ending an era of dominance with 13 Premier League titles and 2 Champions League triumphs. His departure marked a turning point for United, leaving a legacy unmatched in football history to this very day. It's been over 12 years since his retirement, and the fans still eagerly wait for the day that their club will lift the Premier League or the Champions League again. 6 permanent managers later, United continue their search for the next Fergie. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and if you think United fans should trust the process with Ruud van Nistelrooy, let us know in the comments below. Also, if you want to go a step further to support us, then check out our Patreon, link for which will be in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.